Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we should look to the war up front. The Saints are top 10 in rushing yards, and they're going up against a Falcons team that set for the call of this Week 15 matchup. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the foot.
And got his man complete. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Special teams coaches spend a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
3 down.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long.
Here we go now. 45, Mike, 45. No. Check, Patriot.
Here's Keenum now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing up, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vic Beasley from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Keenum to throw on second down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. From the shotgun, Ryan. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Eluding the pressure right. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a second down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Stephon Anthony acclimated quite quickly to the NFL. As soon as he joined the team, he became their leading tackler.
Ryan. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Ryan on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Touchdown, Falcons. Corey Grant, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game?
Looking for his tight end Fleeter, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On second down, here's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On third down, Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Corey Grant, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, 1 play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
He's got time in the pocket. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get it all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Dodgers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. Now that the Ravens have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about him.
Looking back at pro days, no quarterback had a more impressive showing than he did. Matt Miller described it as a franchise-type workout. On his own turf, with his weapons to throw to, not a single pass touched the ground. A full fleet of scouts were in attendance to see him make every possible NFL throw. Matt told me he was very impressed with his ball placement. Each throw is spot on, allowing receivers to maintain their speed and make the catch in stride. With the performance he turned in, it's no wonder he was drafted here. He has all the qualities you want in your play caller. Now let's see if he can put it together and become the face of their franchise.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock.
All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
He's the type of offensive lineman that doesn't get mentioned often by the commentators, but when they do, it's complimentary. He's a smart, big guy who knows how to play mistake-free at the line. In fact, he won a stretch of games this season in which he didn't allow a single sack. That's an impressive feat for any college offensive lineman, and it's no wonder to see a team take him. He's going to have to adjust to the larger size and strength of NFL defensive linemen, but I think his intangibles are stronger than any lineman in this class.
Let's go to Adam now, who's got more on the Chargers' last pick.
After he set a team record for pass completions in a game, his draft stock couldn't have been any higher. Showing tremendous pocket presence, vision, and throwing accuracy, multiple GMs felt as if he had all the makings of a franchise quarterback. Now he'll have a chance to take his gunslinger mentality to the next level with his new coaching staff, hoping it translates to NFL success.
The Rams are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Cardinals are off the clock now. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
Just 2 years ago, he was on the boxing team for a small school before transferring and using his final year of eligibility to play football for a bigger program. Right away, he made an impact for the team, compensating for what he lacked in with pure intensity and aggression. He's going to need to learn to play more with his head and see the game differently at the next level, but he has all the tools to develop into a great player. It all comes down to what the coaches can get out of him, and this first off season will be a major test for him.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock.
The Panthers pick is in. Adam, did Cam Newton get some help?
The IQ test is perhaps one of the most controversial tools used to measure a player's aptitude during the combine. Even so, There are several NFL franchises that place significant value in the results, which is exactly why when this kid scores a 14, heads turned and he found himself losing ground in several experts' mocks. Most GMs want to see a player score in the 20s, but history has shown us that several of the greats, like Marino and McNabb, have scored below this threshold. Scouts I've talked to have praised his football IQ, specifically his ability to learn a playbook and dissect opposition schemes. These traits should serve him well at the next level, though several players with these traits have failed in the past due to the complex nature of the NFL compared to college. Training camp and the preseason are going to be huge for him, and the results, be they positive or negative, will no doubt add fuel to the raging debate over the use of IQ test as a judge of player intelligence.
The Panthers are now on the clock. All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
When I ask scouts around the league what his biggest asset is, they always point to his father. His dad is a high school coach that knows how to consistently finish in the top of the school's division. And ever since he was able to walk, he's been on the sidelines for every game. Even after he leaves practice at night, he's still getting advice from his dad at home. And from what I've heard from scouts who've watched him play, you can tell the extra coaching has helped. Even during interviews at the Combine, I was told by several GMs that he was one of their favorite players to talk to. He has his dad's eye for the game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him become a coach one day himself. I like him a lot, and he'll be a great addition to the team.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. Vikings just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
This is a player that many felt could be a solid role player in the NFL, but not a dominant force. That train of thought changed after one of the best defensive performances the college All-Star game has ever seen. At times, it seemed as if he were everywhere on the field during the game, disrupting both the run and pass game for the opposition. Several scouts I spoke with pointed to that performance as evidence he could dominate at a high level, and sources have told me that more than one general manager felt he was the type of defender you could build a franchise around. Now all that's left for him to prove is if the All-Star game was an aberration or a sign of things to come.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
Of all the running backs who participated at the All-Star game, he definitely had the roughest outing. Matt Miller told me he was not picking the right lanes anytime he was handed the ball. He was stuck at the line on almost every carry, and he didn't get very far if he did make it past the line. He just didn't show that natural instinct to attack the weaker areas of the defensive line. Coaches in the NFL don't respond well to backs who run from sideline to sideline looking for a hole that doesn't exist. They prefer north to south style runners who take the ball and burst through the open lane or make a hole of their own if none exists. He doesn't seem to have that instinct yet, but now that he's been picked up, we'll see if he can find it.
The Raiders are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
Scouts I've talked to expressed a great deal of frustration with his inconsistent play throughout the season, saying it made it near impossible to evaluate him in 11-on-11 situations. Even with this being said, there was significant interest in the big tight end, many believing that with the right coaching and confidence building, he could develop into a dominant player. This pick is a bit of a gamble, with the hope being a clean slate can help him exercise the demons that prevented him from reaching his full potential in college.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
Here's a guy who had been sliding under the radar on several teams' draft boards, even after several big games this year, and completely outrunning some high-ranking peers head-to-head. GMs still weren't sure what type of impact he can make at the next level. One thing is for sure, he's a hard worker who thrives on competition, which should lead to a very long and successful career in the NFL.
All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
A fundamentally sound offensive lineman whose last collegiate season was ended prematurely by a nasty ankle injury, he's a guy who has the potential to become a centerpiece on the line for years to come. If there's one point of contention about him, it's that after talking to several of my sources, there's a significant worry about the strength of his surgically repaired right ankle. The original injury happened when the ankle appeared to buckle while he was not engaged, raising some serious questions about leg strength. He's been known as a bit of a power lifter with exceptional upper body strength, leading some strength coaches to openly question if this explosive lifting is putting additional stress on his leg joints. He looked good at the combine with excellent lateral movement pushing off the ankle in question. We probably won't know how well that ankle holds up until about a year from now after he's been through the rigors of an entire NFL season.
The Colts are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock.
The Saints just made their pick. Adam, what can you give us about Bynes?
With this pick, we see a tremendous physical talent that fell out of favor with many teams based on reports that he struggled memorizing his playbook. These struggles were cited as contributing to several key mistakes in late season losses. A 3.7 grade point average student studying humanities, the explanation for his lack of football knowledge was puzzling to many of the scouts and GMs I spoke to. Other sources have told me that if the reports of his playbook struggles are indeed true, it may be more of a reflection of his previous coaching staff than his mental work ethic. They feel that making the jump to the NFL provides a clean learning slate for him. I expect his new coaching staff to bring him along slowly, and because of that, I wouldn't expect to see him getting any immediate on-field action until he demonstrates a mastery of the playbook.
The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.